Welcome back. It was yet another quick one. I'm 5 for 5 with those commercials. Chill. Time for game 5. You ready?
I'm ready, as always.
Let's get this started. Now, dual sight, of course, if you haven't ever watched the GSL, then you probably have never seen this map before. We'll take a look at it in just a second. First off, let's get some player positions. We got RSVP from Complexity as the red Protoss here on the right-hand side. The dark side, as I like to call it, and up here as It's Gosu from, or excuse me, DDE from It's Gosu as the blue Terran player. On the light side, you know, the cheeser would spawn on the dark side, wouldn't he, Chill?
It depends how you look at it, JP. You know.
Well, I mean, how else could I look at it? Would lava be the good side? I don't get what you're saying there. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Well, I'm saying cheesers aren't necessarily evil.
Well, we could pull the chat, really. I mean, we could find that question out pretty quickly. I think they would definitely say they're evil people, Chill.
The StarCraft community is not a democracy.
That's actually the best point made all night. So, you like casting this map. Tell me why.
Well, I always really like tactical maps. You can see this map once it's extremely wide. There's a lot of chokes to run through. Once you get to the point where you're taking thirds and fourths, a player can't just sit back and play defensively on this map. They really have to be active with their units, controlling all the positions, scouting very well. And I love a map that forces someone to really have all his units out there defending on all fronts. And I think Dual Sight is a map that really pushes that sort of play to the limit.
One of the reasons that I like this map is because sometimes players will just steal a high yield. And I mean, DDE, although he's not doing it this game, I thought he might because he has been favoring that one Rax expand build, at least in game 1 and game 2. RSVP still might do it. I mean, it's actually a pretty viable strat. If your opponent does not scout it, you can get miles ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. This isn't like Metalopolis, where it's like, well, maybe my opponent won't check the Zelnaga Watchtower. Well, you know, it's off to the side. A Terran player blocks his ramp with a couple of Marines. Everything looks normal. Oh, wait, there's a command center at the high yield. Also, interestingly enough, there's only 5 patches at the high yield, so that's going to favor those mule bombs over there, but not going to favor someone who really saturates it quickly.
Right. So, I mean, we'll keep our eye on that. What is RSVP going to do? Well, can't really see too much, obviously. He has not added on second gas. Cybernetics Core, we'll be finishing here. See that Zealot come out, then that Stalker, then we'll start seeing the tech plan kind of unfold. In the meantime, we see a tech lab first out of DDE this game, and he's going to be opening up 2 racks.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward 2 racks. He went racks, and then the tech lab add-on. So I'm not sure if he really wants to punish any sort of fast expansions. I'm not sure if he's trying to get out a bunch of units. We can see he's getting the concussive shells out. Or if this is just defensive, he wants to defend against any sort of cheese. We'll have to wait and see. Knowing DDE is such an aggressive player, I think he's going to put out a bunch of units and do kind of a 6.5 minutes kind of attack.
Concussive shell has been started. Was it last game? It might have been the game before that where RSVP lost his initial Zealot to that concussive shell. He needs to be careful because it's pretty close to being finished here. Stalker is coming to join up with his friend who's joined by Artosis' favorite unit. There's a sheep on this map.
And we've got the Stalker running up. This is so dangerous because the Marauder is out with concussive shell, about to finish it. Finishes! Oh my god, yet again. That Zealot getting tagged by that shell and sent back to Ire. Had no business being in that Terran base.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 games in this best of 5 where that has happened to RSVP. The Zealot's not too critical of a unit. I mean, the Stalker would definitely be a bigger loss, but
absolutely
any unit lost at this stage in the game is not a good thing, obviously.
Yeah, and it's a little bit psychological now. DDE feels stronger putting down his command center, and he feels stronger attacking at the same time. That one Zealot is like 33% of this army that's sitting up the ramp for RSVP.
Yep. Now, thankfully for RSVP, there's only 2 Marauders, I think. Yep, here comes the 3rd one in tow back in the back. He might, let's see how close. Warp Gate is finished. He hasn't warped any of his gateways just yet. He'll be able to hold this pretty easily if DDE delays it any longer. He's actually going to put down a bunker and try to do a small contain. Yeah,
I was just saying DDE is so smart for getting out of there, but he may be overcommitting himself just a bit. We've got a warp in, and here come the units with the Zealots charging down the ramp, and the Stalker's coming from behind. DDE should not have been here. He should have pulled back, but how could he have known that there was a 3-gate behind there? Bunker may finish, so that may be a saving grace. He's running for the bunker.
Okay, it does finish, but only one Marauder gets in. The other bunker was canceled, so he'll go ahead and warp in some Zealots and take this bunker out. Easy peasy. You can say lemon squeezy, but I don't want to be...
Lemon squeezy.
I didn't want to be just like our physicist there. Marauder coming out. You know, I cast so much with him over at the some of the other tournaments that we're doing that. Starting to rub off, man. I'm saying a lot of lemon, or easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm saying man a lot at the end of all my sentences.
We're bringing US East back.
I know. I'm
Plan
turning
X17.
I'm turning into one of the Artosolites, as I like to call them.
Not a bad place to be.
Not a bad place at all, but it's Artosis after all. So yeah, you got to at least make fun of them every now and then. So expansion up for DDE. Looks like RSVP's has started as well. Is that a robotics facility? It indeed is. So he's going to get that observer out and scout out his opponent, see what's going on before really making another decision.
You can see DDE going up to 5 racks. So if RSVP goes for that Colossus rush again, it will be kind of an ill-fated build because I don't think he's going to be able to get out those 2 Colossi that he liked to get out on the Shakuras Plateau game and be able to harass the natural. I think DDE is going to have way too many units to make that effective, so hopefully he doesn't go that route and instead gets an observer out and then starts getting the immortals out. Let's see what he does here. He's still significantly behind in the economics of this game with his natural just now finishing, whereas DDE has been mining from that natural for quite some time.
Did DDE cut SCVs in that attack? I mean, he's only got 26 of them right now. Let's look at the unit tab, see how many mills. He's got 1. That seems awfully low at this stage to me.
Yeah, you know, in these games, it seems like DDE is really low on SCVs, so I don't know if he cuts them or how he's getting so far behind. Conversely, RSVP is like really slamming out those probes. He's got his Nexus queued up to 3 in his main pace.
Yeah, but I mean, compare the army sizes, RSVP's is not that high. DDE's got a lot working for him here. He has stem. Does he have combat shield? No, he does not. He's also got slow, of course, which we saw in the initial engagement. It's all going to come down to the force fields of RSVP here. Everything is on the line here in Game 5, Chill.
Yeah, here we go. DDE moving in, going to get force fielded almost immediately, but there's a little bit of a gap. He's able to retreat out the side and the back, still able to do a ton of damage. RSVP needs to get those force fields working for him to isolate this army as DDE is just closing in, stimming and trying to gun down. RSVP going to take out all the Zealots. All the sentries are down. This is a huge victory for DDE as he's going to lose the rest of his army to reinforcements from RSVP. Actually reinforcing with more units here. Those may have been ill-fated reinforcements, but at least they'll trade cost efficiently. And a lot of damage done here by DDE.
Yeah, going once again into the harvester count. He's up to 50 harvesters. I don't actually think this attack has really done too much. I mean, they've traded armies. If he can hold it off without losing too many of these probes to have to be pulled against this army, he's still going to be in a great position. As we have some Colossus coming out, the tech just now started the starport over here for DDE. Does not have a reactor. I don't think we'll go take a quick look and try to scan for it. Okay, he is building the reactor on that factory. Now, if this attack goes back for DDE, then it might be a pretty big victory because the army size is definitely dwindling for RSVP.
Well, even though DDE didn't kill any probes, if we just look at the builds that they're heading towards, RSVP did do that Colossus rush. No thermal lance, just now started now. If you only have a few units in a Colossus, it's very weak, as we can see the Colossus coming out now. DDE trying to spread and stim and go to work on those Zealots, trying to tag down that Colossus. Colossus microing back and forth, gonna get taken out. That is a huge loss, losing the first Colossus. Gonna be so big, and DDE is just slamming out units. This is why it's good for him to trade units, because he's got 6 barracks pumping out units. 2 of them are with reactors, and now he's got that reactor starport. He's in the natural, just being so aggressive. Even if RSVP holds, this is so good for DDE just in the matchup of strategy.
Here is another Colossus. Extended thermal lance still only about halfway finished. Now DDE will be falling back, which I think is probably a smart decision. Get a little bit bigger force, get those medevacs out, and allow combat shield to finish, and then possibly start doing some drops.
DDE actually taking a 3rd command center here. I think he's doing well with the aggression. You can never fault someone for playing safely, but the aggression has been working well. Wouldn't have minded to see him get out a few Vikings and try to end it in the next, say, 4 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, if he got Vikings out, then it would kind of be another story. He's already started to produce those medevacs. These Marines kind of mis-rallied, but they ended up taking out a possible third base as the probe is over there transitioning. Now, here's some more Marines from DDE. Oh, here's the drop going in.
Yeah,
he's going to do a little bit of a distraction against RSVP.
And when you're playing as Robo Protoss against Drop Terran, it's so annoying until you finally have time to get that Twilight Council up. You can see the drop is in the main base, going to try to take the Robo out. Before the Colossus gets out, it's absolutely going to get taken out. RSVP trying to deal with this smartly by splitting up his army, sending the Colossus to chase the retreating units, and then bring the rest of his army back, but it's not going to be good. DDE is going to get out of there, and he's focusing down the Nexus, wants to go to work on the probes. RSVP bouncing back and forth as good as you could expect, but DDE just a little bit better, getting all these harassing units out.
Now, if you were in RSVP's position, would you just kind of gather everything up and go for an attack? Would you try to hold this? I mean, your opponent's taking the map right now, or he should be at least. He's got map control. He's really got you held within his base. How do you get out of this, Chill?
Yeah, I just wait up until I get my Twilight Council up. I go straight for Blink while continuing to produce as much units, and then I think I attack. I would not attack right now, but it looks like RSVP is getting a little bit bloodthirsty. He's got units still in his main to deal with the counter drop that's coming from DD, but once those get dropped and stimmed up, I don't know that these Stalkers are going to be able to deal with them, trying to warp in more units, but they've got to get out of there, getting tagged, and now look at this. This is why I would not attack. He's got to pull that army that was going to counter all the way back to his main base to defend this drop.
And the drop is going to get cleaned up. It looks like it should, although these mini medevacs, they might be able to kill a lot of these Marauders, if not pick off the medevacs themselves. And one of the Marauders does get away. Both medevacs are going to get away. Third base started, but DDE is on top of things. Here comes a small hunting party, and they're going to be able to deny this unless units are warped in from this pylon.
Yeah. Oh, he's going for the pylon first, but I think there's going to be enough units here from RSVP. And DDE is so smart. Just getting away before he loses even a single unit. Very nice. He's going to be back, I guarantee, to deal with that Nexus very shortly.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, if we look at the Viking count, already up to 5. Does he have 2 starports or only 1? Yep, there is the double starport. He's going to be able to really pump out a huge amount of Vikings and medevacs, already with a huge amount of racks. I think this game should be ending here pretty soon once DDE decides to go into it.
DDE looking for that drop yet again. A cannon has been put in the main base of RSVP, and he's got a few units just roaming around. DDE is wisely going to reunite those medevacs back with his main army. They can do more good once they're healed up and loaded up and dropping somewhere else. He's only got a single Marauder in the one, so that's not going to be doing too much. The third base for both players are now up and fully saturated for RSVP. So many probes over here at the third. Supply counts 158 for a Terran player, 154 for a Protoss, so pretty even. Factor in the 10 extra probes for Protoss puts DDE at just a slight lead.
Yeah, so where are these two armies going to collide? That's really what the storyline is going to really come in just a couple seconds. Factory going over here to the third base. If we look at the army of RSVP, we see a little bit of it there, and units kind of scattered all the way around because he is a little bit fearful of the drops. The factory might get cleaned out here, if not, it'll be sent to a burning stage. And here comes DDE moving across. He has a ton of Vikings in his army. Immortal started. I think Charge is finished. Yes, it indeed is. Going to the unit tab, we have a total of 26 Zealots out. He's really going to need to combine these forces, or this army is just going to roll over the two separate ones.
Oh my god, so unfortunate that RSVP has his units separated. And he's doing the smart thing. He's trying to get up to Templar. He's correctly identified that Colossi are not working as there's 12 Vikings out, but he's just missed the timing. DDE baits RSVP back a little bit, deals with the Colossi separately while dancing his units back and forth. He's going to say hello to a Zealot sandwich as they come crashing in from both sides, but he's dancing back nicely, landing the Vikings, and that is probably going to clean up everything. He's crushing through with these 1-1 upgrades. GG.
DDE
Sick play.
has taken the Alienware here, Alienware Arena number 3. That is 2 titles for him. He earns himself $1,000. Of course, that MLG competitor pass for first. In second place, of course, RSVP taking down the Alienware Arena here. $500 goes to him. DDE really, I mean, Game 5 was all about decision making.
Yeah, he played it really nicely in Game 5, and actually, I think the games that I don't want to take anything away from RSVP, but DD looks solid. The games RSVP won, I would say DD actually lost them. And when DD was on point, he just looked a level above RSVP. So
Yeah.
really big congratulations to him. He played very well in this TVP series.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely something to come. Both players, really. DDE taking the first 2 games, RSVP coming back, and then in Game 5, that's a lot of pressure on both players. DDE obviously being the better one there. Chill, it's been a pleasure casting with you. You got anything you want to shout out to?
TeamLiquid.net, best StarCraft website. That's my only shout out.
All right, short and sweet. Well, guys, tomorrow we have the MLG Global Invitational right here at MLG Live. That will be the Korean region. So check that out. Winners round 2, losers round 1. Should be a ton of fun. Huge shout out to Alienware for putting this tournament on. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for the tournament. And I'm sure we'll be back with the North American Challenge number 4. Chill, you gonna join me?
Absolutely, always a pleasure.
All right, we'll see you guys there. Thank you so much for tuning in. For Chill, I'm JP McDaniel. We'll see you guys next time here at MLG Live.